All right, folks, we are now back, and we're going to be going to Game 3 very shortly. We've had, what, only one game that's gone 2-0 thus far?
Yes.
That's always good. I like that.
Yeah.
It shows that the bracket is nice and even. There are no whitewashes going on. And NightEnD did kind of balk that up somewhat, didn't he?
Yeah, I just don't really agree with this style. I mean, I'd love to be to go ahead and be like, "Hey, NightEnD," if he's like playing in the corner in this room. I'm like, "Hey, NightEnD, what are you trying to do there?" And he's like, "Well, actually, I'm trying to do this because this is how Zerg players play." And I'm like, "Oh, I understand now." But without actually speaking to him, I have absolutely no idea what he's trying to do because it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got an idea in his head, and it looks like it's a build that he's practiced because he's now executed it twice.
I mean, Stalker and Immortal are very good together with Blink and with better upgrades, but at 1-1 without Blink, you know, you're limiting your options. You have to hit a certain window, which just hasn't been hit at all. So maybe it's something to do with Daybreak as well. Like, I don't know. Anyway, the third map is Taldra Mortar Ladder Edition.
Yep.
And this was NightEnd's map choice. So he does go into the final game. The
NightEnD loves Taldra
game.
Although maybe not so much anymore after that.
All right, let's go.
Guess
you
we're
ready?
about to find out. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's go, man.
Yeah. NightEnD and Stephano, one apiece in this series at present.
Yeah. NightEnD is so good. He's such a good player. I mean, he's always been around for ages. I remember his games against Boxer in the TSL 3.
Yeah.
And so he lost that series, but he still played well, and he's doing well in this tournament too. Can he go the distance?
I guess we're about to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Fnatic's NightEnD. He is in the red trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the southwest of this particular map. It's, of course, the Taldra Malta versus his opponent, Millennium Stephano, who is now caught up and is one apiece. And he is in the pink trunks playing Zerg to the northeast.
Yeah, Stephano's pretty good on here as well. And yeah, Stephano thinks he didn't have a third, but he did.
Yeah, I wonder if NightEnD will lie to him or not.
I know. He's like, no, I did.
There we go. He's telling the truth. NightEnD is an honest man.
Yeah. I think that's why we saw so many spine crawlers, because, you know,
he thought it was just basically a big all-in on 2 base, yeah.
But it was actually 3.
Yep.
So in theory, if NightEnD had actually teched up and done other stuff, those spine calls would have been rendered useless, and he could have done it a little bit better.
Yes.
But anyway, not to kind of keep jumping on the same grave, let's kind of go to the next one.
Yeah, I like variety when it comes to my grave jumping, honestly. I feel that that's extremely important if you want to indulge in that hobby.
I really like how safe NightEnD is. Every single game he goes forward fastest span, it's always 12. We actually see Protoss players go up to 15 before they build it to squeeze out more probes, because, you know, he has to cut probes a little bit there. But yeah, he does it really early, which is very good because it's very safe. Double probe scouts as well. In Korea, 6 pull is like common. It's actually common against Forge Fast Expand, or was. I haven't actually seen their style in a long time, but it was really common for a very long time because people just weren't getting the 12 Forge every game. They weren't double scouting every game.
Yep, that doesn't happen so much anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
Stephano going for the hatchery here, which, again, on this map, you can kind of get away with this. Although, still, I mean, there's still a possibility for cannon, right? And
yeah, that's why he's bringing out that other drone.
Yeah.
Because he can get 3 pylon blocked in. He can have pylon cannoned on the natural. And I think that's what we're going to see here because there's a hatchery first and the second probe is already coming. I doubt he can get the 3 pylon block, but he can definitely build pylon and cannons down. And actually saying that, he's building a Nexus, or is he? Okay, he does. But okay, the second probe isn't coming. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was coming.
That's a very polite response there by now. It's saying, well, you went hatch first, and I went 12 forge. I could cannon you, but I'm not going to do that.
That is very polite indeed. He could have, because the second probe is still on the Zelnoga tower.
Yeah.
And I thought it was coming across to do it, but he was very polite there. And he got the gateway as well, which is very good. You don't want to get the cannon first before the gateway, because you sacrifice time, of course, because gateway equals cybercore equals warp gate research equals tech.
Yes, it does.
So you get that down before the cannon's very good. And a second pylon to start walling off. And he can also build probes again now and chrono boost into the Nexus, so looking all good. Well, Stephano's play, he does like to use Mutalisks on this map because they are very good on Taldra Malta because of the way, and the way it's very difficult to defend your third and your main. Because Mutas can just fly over the cliff, and unfortunately, Stalkers can't blink over there.
No, it doesn't really work so well.
They used to be able to.
Yeah, I saw some of them try to blink and then they just got suspended in midair and fell to their deaths. And that's a pretty long drop if you have a look at it. And also it's foggy down there, so they probably can't see.
It's like a Star Wars film.
It is, actually. It very much is. It's Battle of Endor. There's actually Ewoks hiding down there.
Down there and
yeah,
is that training with Luke?
Yeah, it could be Dagobah Swamp, actually, down there. It's either the Ewoks or Dagobah. I can't really decide one way or the other. But whatever the case, you don't want to put your Stalkers in there, because it just gets awkward.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like a bunch of Stalkers arrives in the middle of Luke Skywalker's training. It's like, what the hell are you doing here?
It's like they jump on Yoda's back, and it's like some like climber.
They jump on Yoda's back, Yoda like breaks his back, collapses, and just dies there immediately, and then the Empire wins, and then the Protoss feel awkward about the whole thing.
We helped. Anyway.
Yes, exactly. You helped enslave the galaxy. The Protoss aren't nice. They really are not. You know what else isn't nice?
Man, hidden probe.
The hidden probe. Now, where is it? It's right
useful.
there. That's a very well hidden probe as well, yeah.
Very useful, and that may open an option to be aggressive for NightEnD. He can also scout for the third base here, because he doesn't have to show it. He just goes to the higher ground cliff and see, oh, okay, there's creep. Oh, is this Zergling? It may just stop on the Zelnoga tower on the left, or it may go scout.
Maybe.
Okay, so that's really good for NightEnD.
Yep.
Does he decide to use it, though? He hasn't taken any gases yet. He's now going to add on his gateways, and it looks like just 2, 3, or will he add on more? Okay, just 2. Yeah. He could have used that.
Definitely. I think there was an opportunity there.
It's also a risk to do a gateway pressure, a heavy gateway pressure. He still could do +1, but he's not chrono boosting into it, so it's kind of slow. Because he was almost starting +2 by now in like the other games, but
yeah, it is rather late on that one, isn't it? And that probe is still there. I mean, I'm trying to think what he can do with it. He can easily hop up there and place the pylon at the top, which is a common harassment position in order to deal with any Terran. What am I talking about? Not Terran, not Protoss, Zerg, the other race. That one, yes. And there we go. We've got a pylon coming down.
I don't think he can do too much with it, though. Stephano does scout that the gas has been taken on the natural, which is very important here, because now he knows that the money's not into a heavy gateway, into a lot of gateways, because 75 minerals on the simulator, and then 3 into the simulator.
This is the most awkwardly hidden overlord in existence. Look at that.
Oh no,
like, it barely fits.
Scout it. Oh, that's so unfortunate for NightEnD.
Yeah,
because now Stephano's should be able to defend it if he just builds a few roaches from that hatchery, which he is.
Yep.
And he may just take the queen damage, but roaches will be able to save the hatchery. So it depends on how much damage can be done before roaches deal the ultimate damage.
Yep, that's very, very true. And the Lings are able to hold them up for just a couple of seconds. Queen is taking a leisurely stroll away from the Psy Blades of Doom. And a nice surround there with the Lings, which takes the Stalker out. And the Queen is alive for the moment. Couple more pokes will do it. But Stephano might even clean this up and not even lose the Queen, which would be fantastic for him. Oh, he's running out of creep. He's running out of creep. Like, drones, protect me. Protect me. They didn't protect her.
Oh, the Zealots are going to... Oh, okay. They should focus on the drones, really, not chase the roach.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's still good. I mean, it's 47 drones now. He's killed a few off. He's killing more. Meanwhile, teching up to a robotics facility. That's good. It's not so bad. The problem is, though, that Overlord is scouting everything. He scouts the sentry count. He scouts the robotics facility as well.
It's a really nice place to put it.
It's a very good Overlord, but I don't think NightEnD knows it's there, though. He should, but he doesn't.
Yeah, it's again a very odd place to put it. It barely fits, but they managed to pull it off anyway. I'm not really sure how that ended up happening, but there you go. And Stephano cleans that up, and how much damage was really done by that? 5 workers killed by NightEnD and a Queen down.
And a lot of missed mining time too.
It's true, yeah. It wasn't that bad. I think it could have been better than it was. As you said, those Zealots had no reason to go chasing after that roach. That was silly. He should have gone directly for the mineral line there. He could have done more.
Oh, double gateway going down, which puts him at 5 in Twilight Council. I was going to say, I thought that was another gateway. I'm like, what? No, not now. This is the bad time.
Yeah.
So he's probably just going to look to expand soon. He's going to get +2 attack straight away, and it's very similar to the games we've seen on Daybreak-ish, especially the first game against Dark Force, but he's now just moving to the later stages of his build, rather than staying on this one stage. So now he's going to be able to get Blink. He's going to be able to chrono boost into +2, and oh my god! NightEnD is just doing everything today. DTs.
Build all the things. We've got the Dark Shrine on the way up.
Very smart. Very good to do that. Very good. I like this a lot. The problem is there is a Spore Crawl on the third base, which he has scouted, by the way. But he's going to be sending DTs to the main and natural. And the Spire is on the way now for Stephano. But it's so easy to build an Overseer at this stage, and there is a Spore Crawl on the natural. I'm not sure how efficient these DTs will actually be. What he could do is, if he warps in 4 from that pylon,
He could kill that. Well, I mean, he could kill that Spore Crawler very quickly.
He could kill the Spore Crawler very quickly, but it needs to be 4. It can't be less, because he can kill the Spore Crawler, then kill the Hatchery, but then he can morph an Overseer in time, because he's spending time killing the Spore Crawler rather than the Hatchery. But that's, I think, what he's going to try and do here. But he doesn't have the gas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's intriguing. In the meantime, 10 Mutalisks are on the way up for Stephano. He's not mucking about.
That's actually like basically an uppercut right into NightEnd's gin, into his gin.
Into his gin.
Into his gin.
That's it. That's even more insulting.
Into his gin.
Don't waste a good man's gin.
He's actually in a lot of trouble. He's going to swap the Mutas eventually, but he's in a lot of trouble. His army composition, his tech just isn't ready for Mutalisks. Not at all.
No, I don't. Protoss are generally not ready for Mutalisks at any point. And it's going to be 2 DTs out of that, and 2 Zealots as well.
They're going to just try to snipe the Spore Crawler.
There's 2 Spines up as well.
He knows about the Mutas now, so that's good, I guess. But at the same time, Overseer already making, man. It's not worked. That's horrible for NightEnd.
Yeah, this is going to get shut down
He's got 3
so easily.
He's got 3 Observers as well. He's now getting Blink.
Yeah, this is kind of falling to pieces, unfortunately, for NightEnd, which is not really what we wanted to see. He has got himself a 3rd here, but of course he's allowed Stephano to mine from that 3rd for quite some time and not able to do a huge amount of harassment. And now Stephano's grabbed that one at the back, which is much harder to get to.
And come the Mutas.
Yes, they do, and Harassment will be abound. The Photon Cannon's coming up. He could have actually killed that. I think he's just realized that, and then, unfortunately, NightEnd has moved in a bunch of defenses, so that's not going to happen. But this becomes a problem for NightEnd, because it's going to force out a lot more cannons, it's going to be wasteful, and it also means that NightEnd's going to be a little bit less willing to move out.
He needs Templar Archives and more gateways really fast, because his gateway... A robotics bay, really? It's going to be difficult because Colossus are going to obviously kill Lings, but he needs the Templar Archives rather than the Colossus out.
It's very true, as far as I'm concerned. And the Muta Pack moves in to try and do some damage. It's forced the Guardian Shield, taking a little bit of damage, no big deal. However, Stephano's actually got this sneaky little base up to the top here.
This may work out really well for NightEnd, because if... Yeah, he's taking the 5th base now, but if Stephano doesn't throw everything into Mutas, this actually works out fine, as long as he continues to upgrade into +2 armor and so on and so on. But if Stephano threw all his gas into Mutas, then simply Stalkers aren't good enough. It's just not good enough. You need Storm, you need Archons. But if Stephano decides to tech out, which is happening, he's going to go to Hive soon, he's got Infestors down already, or Infestation Pit down, then this may actually work really well. So this is interesting. This is really, really going to cut down to the wire. And still, though, NightEnd has to defend pylons. One pylon going to turn off 2 gateways, other pylon going to turn off robotics facility. So it has to be careful.
Not ideal, is it?
And that's
it's a very good blink. And of course, +2 was complete by that point, so he was able to do even more damage. And Stephano loses a Mutalisk and takes another one, a couple of heavily injured there, in fact. Now scouting around, looking to see, has my opponent got a 4th base? Nope, is the simple answer to that at the moment.
Yeah, and there goes the Hive down. And he's going to try and take a 4th base now, NightEnd is, so... This is a pretty interesting game. Infestors coming down, and I'm surprised that Stephano didn't stay on Mutas, because the usual reaction from a Protoss player is to go to Templar Archives, so that's probably why. And actually, he kills the Nexus, by the way. It wasn't cancelled.
Well, that's a bit of a kick in the teeth. I mean, obviously at this stage it doesn't matter as much as you might think, but that's still 400 minerals that he's never going to get back, so... That's not ideal, a little bit of a very small victory. And this is what this game really comes down to, these small victories here and there. This
Observer's going to go in now, and it's going to see the Hive just about to finish up. And that should be pushing NightEnd out. He needs to be going, because he can't really, unless he wants to try and drag it out into a mothership and so on. I don't know, we'll see.
I wouldn't want to be going to a mothership after the last time.
He needs to stay, though, until the pylons are finished on his 4th base so he can build cannons to defend it. If he moves out, he'll lose it, so... And there goes the Templar Archives. Has been put down in the main.
And that's what I like to call the Mutalisk conundrum, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. You simply cannot risk moving out. Even, 3 cannons is not going to be enough to stop that many Mutas.
Yeah, and double upgrades now on the Spires, so he's going to go Great Spire in a second.
Very nice.
Yeah, definitely going to be seeing some Broodlords soon. And let's see how NightEnd can do against Stephano's Broodlord late game composition, that is. But yeah, he's got his cannons up on the 4th base. Oh, just about.
Yep.
So now he's pretty much safe to move away from there once these cannons finish up. And then we'll start to see NightEnd be a little bit more aggressive on the map, because he's held his 4th, which is important.
Yeah, my concern is that with double upgrades, Stephano decides not to care about 3 cannons, especially when they're that clustered together. They die so fast. Or, well, he's got a second pylon coming up to back that up, so he's fine there. But he can clean that up without taking too many losses.
That's absolutely true, TotalBiscuit. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a High Templar, a single High Templar warped in, just so it can have a single storm, maybe a double storm if it builds up enough energy to fight against the cannon, well, with the cannons as well.
Admittedly, I wouldn't say that that's the ideal way of going. He took a lot of cannon fire from the ground, and yeah, that was just a plain bad trajectory. I can never do that word. Trajectory is the correct pronunciation, I believe. For Stephano there, he just flew right by them, which was quite silly, really.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen any kind of attempt to move out yet, because he knows he's pushed past the time. Oh, very nice blink, by the way, onto the mutas. Very good blink.
Oh, that's absolutely exceptional.
Killed so many.
Oh, yeah, it's Stephano actually...
Oh, look at that.
Oh, this is ridiculous. That is devastating right there. That has single-handedly turned the game in NightEnd's favor.
On the higher ground, blink up. Very, very good there. But yeah, what I was saying is, I'm surprised we haven't seen NightEnd try to do anything before Broodlords come out. He's kind of just been like, all right, well, I know the Hive's done. I know Broodlords are done. All right, let's do it. So he hasn't done anything to try to stop it. And now he's pushing out just as Broodlords more. So his timing is missed, but... And there's so many investors. I'm interested to see how he's going to try to combat this. Because right now, I'm panicking as a Protoss player. I have no idea what to do right now. There's 8 Broodlords, there's a million infestors. 17
infestors. I mean, he doesn't even have enough High Templar. Maybe he has enough to feedback, but actually he doesn't have a lot of energy there either. So he can feedback some of the infestors, but he's going up against 17 infestors. And the Great Wall of Spiner is back here, as you can see, which is, I might add, not in fact the Great Wall of Brent Spiner, which is entirely different. Just something to bear in mind for you Star Trek fans.
He did have an observer in the army of Stephano, but that was picked off now. But this is getting difficult. DTs can no way harass these expansions. Look at that, there's spines everywhere on these left expansions.
This is
And yeah, the Stargate
crazy,
goes down. He's like, all right, I can't break it. We got to go for a mothership. So he's going to be going for a mothership now as well, and he's going to have to try and combat it. What he has to be certain of, he would have won against Dark Force if he feedbacked the infestors.
Yeah.
But there's so many infestors that...
You can't feedback that many.
Yeah.
He's got 6 High Templar versus 17 infestors. If he gets full energy and then goes for mass feedbacks, yeah, sure, no problem. But then again, he's still got to land feedbacks on 17 infestors without being fungal growth in himself. That's difficult.
Yeah.
It's now an impossible, in fact. He's going to need more High Templar, and you know what? He's maxed out an army. You can't get him.
Absolutely. And we do have +3 armor on the way as well. More oh my god, Stephano, what are you doing?
Stephano does as what Stephano believes that he should do. He does what he pleases when he pleases. And
he hasn't put down the fleet beacon yet, surprisingly.
Yeah, he's added on 6 more gateways instead.
Oh,
my.
Big jump.
Yeah, it's looking very, very nice indeed. And the fungal goes off.
Storms on the Broodlords.
Needs the storm. Where's the storm? There's the storm. And a feedback underneath that one as well. That's a good amount of damage. He blinks out with the remainder of it. Another storm goes in. Stephano is not moving out of those at all. He's taking a pounding, but NightEnd doesn't have what he needs to face off against 15 Broodlords.
No.
It's just, especially with those upgrades, they're +3 for God's sake on those broodling attacks.
And Stephano's controlling the expansions a lot better than Dark Force did, because he's got the gases. He doesn't care about the minerals, he just wants the gas, so he can continue to build Broodlords and so on. So this is looking much more difficult than the game against Dark Force, and I'm surprised that we haven't seen the Archon Toilet come into effect with the Mothership. It's the one way, efficient way to combat this. I think he hasn't done it.
In my opinion, at this point, that was down to timing, really. It's like, he got his Stargate up, and then it's like, right, I need a fleet beacon, and then I need a mothership, and I can't get that out in time. Because from what I see of Stephano, he's got a big army, and he's going to come for me, and I can't do this in time. So he tried to do it a different way, and the storms were good, but Broodlords are resilient little bastards, and they're rather difficult to bring down.
Yeah, that's true.
He's going to have 17 of them very soon, by the way.
He's almost at +3 armor, so he needs to take a 5th base, because he has to. And there's the fleet beacon finally coming down. He's going to take a 5th base now. Like I said earlier, I would love to see some, try to harass with just a few Stalkers.
Yeah, definitely.
Just a few, just like a handful, like 10, into the main base or something. And you can find angles with an observer, definitely. And you could go in, you could snipe the Great Aspire and so on and so on. Maybe even rushing DTs into the main base is possible too, because there's not that much anti-detection. Or anti-detection? Detection. Fleet beacon on the way now though, so we are going to have the mothership coming out and the shields upgrade too.
Yeah.
But yeah, nice slow and drawn out game once again. every game today.
Yeah, we're having these really long macro games, except for the ones where they aren't. There's not that many very quick games here, but most of them are proving to be fairly epic, honestly.
So many Broodlords, Stephano. He's got 17, is that?
Yeah, he's got. He may also pull a Nurtio, as I like to call it, which is he will build a ton of spines and go actually for a 215 to 220 supply army via the cancel trick.
Another
That's
Dark Shrine coming down.
No, he's adding more Infestors because apparently. I'm sorry, he's building 2 Dark Shrines? Wait, what?
Because this is the time you would build a Dark Shrine and go harass, but he's like, forgot he's already got one.
It's the infamous double Dark Shrine build, of course.
He's got DTs. He's got a DT right there next to his army.
But he can't see it because it's invisible, obviously.
Never mind.
It's the same as seeing black holes in space. You can't see them because they're black.
So many Broodlings. An infested Terran wall, basically.
Yeah, that almost spelled something. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, I don't want to be anywhere near that anytime soon. And you know, he's got almost infinite energy. He's got 20 Infestors. Are we sure this is Stephano? This looks like Destiny that we're seeing on the screen here.
You should just give up this base and get that mothership out and try to Archon toil. That's the only efficient way I can think about fighting this. He can't get there.
How do you efficiently fight? As you said, 17 Broodlords and 20 Infestors.
You actually can't.
Yeah.
There's too many Broodlords. There's Infestors. There's Corruptors.
They're well upgraded as well.
There's absolutely no way.
These bastards are tough, I can tell you that. Even tougher than they should be. So, +3 Flyer Carapace coming out, a very rare upgrade. It's not common at all.
And remember, guys, this is 1-1. NightEnD has to win this game. Otherwise, he is looking to be out, almost.
Yeah, he'd be in a terrible spot. Like, really bad. So, I think maybe he would be out, actually.
Oh, time to go.
Yeah, here it goes. It is gone like Donkey Kong. There's the feedback round on the Overseer. Well, that wasn't ideal. And NightEnD blinking in, but NightEnd's just getting pummeled here. A lot of Broodlords take it down, but there are tons more available, and you can't efficiently trade in that situation. You simply cannot do it.
Look at Stephano's money. Look at Stephano's money, because he's just been sitting there on that 200 supply army for so long that he literally had 5,000, 4,000 resources.
Yep, very, very
true. And now
true.
He's going to morph in another 10 Broodlords or whatever. Oh, he can't really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He just has the capability to do so, even if he builds all these spines.
NightEnd's getting slapped about here. This does kind of remind me a bit of Home Story
He's got the fleet beacon. He should have built a mothership and should have attempted it.
He's building double Colossus instead, and was that 9 more High Templar? It certainly looked like it one way or the other.
Okay, so here come the Archons, but we don't quite have enough money for a mothership.
Where is that mothership?
Archons.
That mothership's not going to be out for 2... even if he just chrono boosts, it's going to take at least 2 minutes to get that thing out.
He has to go now.
It's not going to work.
Otherwise, he's going to lose his 4th base, and then he's going to have even less gas than he has now and less minerals.
The Broodlord count's about to go back to 16. We've got Adrenal Glands coming in, and that's in fact 17. What's the Infestor count? At 17 as well.
Okay, now's the time to build the mothership. Build it, build it, build it. No more Archons. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it!
You've got to build the mothership now. He has got the money. He can't afford it.
Ling run by into the main as well, onto the natural.
Yeah, every little bit counts at this point. Stephano's not actually mining that much in terms of minerals, but he doesn't care. He's got a trust fund. He is mining gas. He is mining as much gas as I think I've ever seen in a pro game. So much. Yeah. It's insanity.
He's taking it like the right-hand side base as well. Archons are not so good because Broodlings just stop them.
Yeah, the Archons can't get in there. That's the problem. They've got very short range. That's why you use them in the Vortex. That's the point of the Archon Toilet. That's why it's so effective.
The range of Broodlings is 9.5 compared to Archons at 3. You just can't get close. They're going to be good at killing the Broodlings, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because the Broodling Strike will eventually weigh you down.
Oh, what a great fumble growth.
That was absolutely stellar.
They can't even get close.
Yeah,
they can't even get close.
Stephano's getting out of there. He's taking some damage, but he's kiting this force incredibly well. Look at the number of Broodlings falling down. The Archons barely survive a second under that kind. It's raining Broodlings, and that is the GG right there. And Stephano takes that convincingly, and NightEnD is... I'm trying to think if NightEnD can actually stay in at this point. We're going to have to do a little bit of maths on this, aren't we?
I don't know. It's pretty much... Well, so who's next? It's Stephano versus Thorzane.
Yeah, Stephano versus Thorzane. That's the final game in the group.
If Stephano wins this game, there may be a tie for 2nd place. Am I right? I'm not sure.
I don't know, because I think... Because Thorzane has been the only 2-0, and it's map score first. So Thorzane, I think... might go through here. I'm going to do a little bit of calculation here. I'm going to try and figure this out. So the current situation is that NightEnD has now lost 2 series, yeah? He's won 1, He's lost 2.
Yep.
And
Dark Forces.
he's lost 5 maps total?
Yeah.
He's conceded 5 maps. So
I'm gonna set up the next match too because we're a little bit behind schedule.
yeah, I'm trying to do the maths here. I'm just never good at this. Thorzane won 2-0 against Dark Force, and he lost 2-1 against NightEnD.
Live.
If Thorzane loses 2-0, I think it's a tie. Maybe.
Maybe.
I think so. But again, this is not the kind of thing I could figure out while also casting. So
yeah, it's pretty difficult.
Someone will figure it out one way or the other.
I'm sure most people already know, actually.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
It's like, what are you guys talking about? We already know how it is. Yeah, this is the current bracket situation, and actually this might give us a little bit more information. So we're going to have a look at this bracket right here, as you can see on the screen. This should be fully up to date. So in this group, we've got Dark Force, who of course won 1 and lost 2. Funnily enough, no, NightEnd's still ahead in that respect because he's got. Hang on, how the hell does that add up? Oh yes, because Dark Force lost a 2-0 game. So NightEnD in terms of map score is of course slightly ahead of Dark Force there. Thor's. How the hell? I'm trying to figure this one out. So I'm looking at this right now. Thorzane, even if he loses this 2-0, that takes him to 3-4.
Yep.
But NightEnD is on 4-5. So does NightEnD would go through in that scenario because he's got more games won.
There you go.
He's also got more games lost, but he's got more games won. So if Thorzane takes even a single map here, then he wins. Thorzane gets through
with Stephano.
Yes, he would come in second behind Stephano. He would be seed 2 in this group.
So yeah.
If he wins 1 map, that's all he needs to do. Win 1 map and he stays in. If he loses this 2-0, then NightEnD goes through because NightEnD has 4 wins and Thorzane only has 3.
There you go.
That's what it comes down to. So Thorzane needs to win 1 map. Simple as that. And of course, if he wins the entire thing, he could actually go in. He could go first seed. Yeah, he could go in first seed because he won that 2-0 game. So that would take him up to 5 maps won and 2 games won.
Yeah, it would.
So when it came down to map score versus Stephano,
he just confirmed it too. Like I just asked him.
Yep.
If Stephano won that last game 2-0,
then he would have been through. Then yeah, he would have been through straight away. But as it turns out,
he needs to win 1 map to go through a second.
Yes, 1
Otherwise, NightEnD goes through.
Yeah.
And if Stephano loses the game, Stephano goes through a second. Thorzane as first.
There you go. Mathematics, science, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
we're going to take a quick ad break, and when we come back, we will be bringing you. I think this is probably one of the most looked forward to matches in this tournament. Stephano against Thorzane in the group stages.